Welcome to Brainish English Stories.
Hello, there's Miliel, said someone near me. I looked at the man they pointed at. I had wanted to meet this Don Juan for a long time. He was not young anymore. His gray hair looked a little like the furry hats worn by some northern people, and his long beard, which hung over his chest, also looked like fur. He was talking to a lady, leaning towards her, speaking in a quiet voice, and looking at her with respect and kindness. I knew about his life, or at least as much as people knew. He had loved many times, and there were some sad stories with his name in them. When I asked women who liked him a lot what made him special, they always thought for a while and then said, "I don't know, he has a special charm. He was not handsome. He did not have the elegance that we think men who win women's hearts have." I wondered what his secret charm was. Was it in his mind? I never heard him say anything smart. In his look? Maybe. Or in his voice. Some people have voices that are very attractive, like tasty food. You want to hear them, and their words feel like a sweet treat. A friend was passing by. I asked him, "Do you know Monsieur Miliel?" "Yes. Please introduce us." A minute later, we were shaking hands and talking in the doorway. What he said was nice and pleasant to hear. His voice was sweet, soft, gentle, and musical, but I had heard voices more attractive and more moving. Listening to him was like looking at a pretty little stream. It was easy to listen to him. He did not say anything confusing or surprising. His conversation was relaxing, but it did not make you want to reply, argue, or agree. It was as easy to answer him as it was to listen to him. The response came naturally as soon as he finished talking, and words came to him as if he brought them out. One thought soon struck me. I had known him for 15 minutes, and it felt like he was already an old friend. It seemed like I had known him for a long time. His face, his movements, his voice, his ideas. Suddenly, after a few minutes of talking, it seemed like we were already close. All awkwardness disappeared between us, and, if he wanted, I might have shared secrets with him as I do with old friends. There was certainly some mystery about him. Those walls that are usually between people and take time to come down when you share interests, ideas, and spend time together, those walls did not exist between him and me. This was probably the case for him with all people, both men and women, he met. After half an hour, we said goodbye, promising to see each other often. He gave me his address and invited me to have lunch with him in 2 days. I forgot what time he had said, and I arrived too early. He was not home yet. A quiet servant showed me into a beautiful, quiet, softly lit room. I felt comfortable there, like I was at home. I have often noticed how rooms can change how we feel and think. Some rooms make us feel silly. In others, we always feel happy. Some rooms make us sad, even if they are bright and have light-colored furniture. Other rooms cheer us up, even if they have dark furniture. Our eyes, like our hearts, have things they like and do not like, and they change how we feel without us knowing. The way furniture, walls, and the style of a room go together changes how we feel right away, just like the air from the woods, the sea, or the mountains changes our bodies. I sat down on a cushion-covered sofa and felt suddenly carried and supported by the little silk bags of feathers, as if the shape of my body had been made on this couch before. Then I looked around. There was nothing surprising about the room. Everywhere were beautiful and simple things, rare furniture, and curtains that looked like they came from the inside of a palace. Directly opposite me was the portrait of a woman. It was a medium-sized portrait showing the head, the upper body, and the hands which were holding a book. She was young, with no hat. Ribbons were woven in her hair, and she was smiling sadly. Was it because she had no hat, or was it her natural look? I have never seen a portrait of a lady that seemed so perfect in a room as that one did in this home. Of all the portraits I knew, none looked like that one. All the others I know are on display, with the lady dressed in her best dress, with a pretty hat and a look that shows she is posing first for the artist and then for those who will look at her. Others are in a comfortable pose in a regular dress. Some are standing proudly in all their beauty, which is not natural for them in real life. All of them have something like a flower, a jewel, a fold in the dress, or a curve of the lip that the artist put there for effect. Whether they wear a hat or just their hair, you can see right away that they are not completely natural. Why? You cannot say without knowing them, but the effect is there. They seem to be showing themselves to people they want to please and to whom they want to look their best. They have practiced their looks, sometimes modest, sometimes proud. What could one say about this woman? She was at home and alone. Yes, she was alone because she was smiling like one smiles when thinking alone about something sad or sweet, not like one smiles when being watched. She seemed so alone and so much at home that she made the whole big apartment seem empty. She alone lived in it, filled it, gave it life. Many people might come in and talk, laugh, even sing. She would still be alone with a quiet smile, and she alone would give it life with her painted eyes. That look was also unique. It looked directly at me, soft and kind, without seeing me. All portraits know that they are being watched, and they answer with their eyes, which see, think, and follow us without leaving us, from the very moment we enter the room they are in. This one did not see me. It saw nothing, even though its look was fixed directly on me. I remembered the surprising line of Baudelaire, "And your eyes, attractive as those of a portrait." They did indeed attract me in an irresistible way. Those painted eyes which had lived, or which were perhaps still living, put a strange, strong spell over me. Oh, what an endless and tender charm, like a soft breeze, like a dying sunset of light purple and blue, a little sad like the coming night, which comes behind the dark frame and out of those deep eyes. Those eyes, made by a few strokes from a brush, hide behind them the mystery of what seems to be and what does not exist, which can appear in the eyes of a woman, which can make love grow within us. The door opened and Monsieur Milial entered. He said sorry for being late. I said sorry for being early. Then I said, "May I ask you who this lady is?" He answered, "That is my mother. She died very young." Then I understood where the strange charm of this man came from.